Welcome everybody to the NCAA Women's Championship presented by Capital One. The final game at Gamble Pavilion this season, and it's the 2-seed UConn Huskies taking on upset-minded and 10th-seeded Buffalo with a Sweet 16 bid on the line. This is what the Albany region looks like. Louisville already has advanced. A big performance by Asia Durr and the Cardinals today. 2 more games to determine the Albany region tomorrow. And with that, we welcome you courtside, Adam Amin, Carol Lawson. Buffalo is looking for the upset. To pull off the upset, coaches always talk about belief. There may not be a coach in America that breeds more belief in her players than Felicia Leggett-Jack.
You can feel it when she walks into the gym or when she walks into the locker room. The energy is palpable. The confidence that she breathes into her team. Felicia uses this phrase a lot, phenomenal women, and she has a lot of phenomenal women on this roster as they try to go to back-to-back Sweet 16s. But they're going to have to go through one of the best players in the country in Napheesa Collier for UConn. She's had a tremendous senior campaign. She does it in every category, from being the linchpin, the centerpiece of this team on offense and on defense. She wants to cap her senior year with another national championship.
This is a UConn team that has fallen in the semis in heartbreaking overtime fashion each of the last 2 seasons. Collier, one of the 2 main seniors in this rotation, trying to get UConn to the Sweet 16 for the 26th consecutive year.
Let's go, UConn!
The students are back. Spring break's over. And we're ready to go with a spot in Albany on the line. And the tip won by Collier. Take a look at UConn's Capital One starting lineups tonight. No surprise, Collier in the thick of it as she delivers to Megan Walker. This has been the starting lineup most of the season. They go only about 6 deep with Olivia Nelson-Adota coming in off the bench. Traveling violation against Buffalo, and UConn takes over again. There is Sierra Dillard, the 2nd leading scorer in the country.
Buffalo in their patented matchup zone. UConn's done a great job on both possessions, getting the ball to the middle of the floor with their best player, Napheesa Collier, with a nice dump down pass to Megan Walker, and there she takes a jumper.
There's the Buffalo starting 5. Hannah Hall was coming off the bench for the last 7 games of the regular season, inserted back in the starting lineup since the MAC tournament. Out of bounds, it will stay with UConn. Felicia Leggett-Jack firing up her team before the game.
I just say every possession, let's just go take it. Let's go take it. Let's go earn it. Let's go let them know that we are not going to bend down to anybody that tells us that our dream can't be accomplished because yours just did. I've witnessed it. We've witnessed it. It's just our time.
She speaks about belief, about confidence, about achieving the dreams that you set out to accomplish. This is the type of confidence that she's trying to instill in this Bulls team to pull off yet another upset, just as they did a season ago.
Well, if they're going to do it, they're going to have to do it against a UConn team that puts a lot of pressure on you with their offense, with their shooting, with their efficiency. Being able to score with Connecticut is something that is a challenge for any team in the NCAA tournament.
Dillard sets up Teresa Onwuka. UConn in transition, and the freshman Kristen Williams navigating to the rim.
You see the 3/4 court pressure, just to take some time off.
Onwuka throws it to no one in particular. Another Buffalo turnover.
Little rush for Buffalo, right?
Yeah.
On offense, it's felt that way the last few possessions. Felicia Leggett-Jack going to make a sub.
Autumn Jones, who is a spark plug, the senior from Indianapolis, into the game for Onwuka. 3 turnovers on 4 trips for the Bulls so far. Samuelson. Katie Lou Samuelson in her second game back after missing 4 games with a back injury. Another turnover by Buffalo. That's 4. Collier running the floor. Countered and a foul. I think Collier for a second thought she got called for a charge.
The pace a little bit too much for Buffalo here in the early going.
Hannah Hall picked up the foul. She was in the restricted area. And the Huskies smelling blood off to a 9-0 start in the second round.
Well, I saw security down there, and he had weapons and everything. And I asked him the question, is it illegal to kidnap players here in Connecticut? And he looked me right in my eye, and he said, yes. I said, crap, there goes that scouting report. They're the best team ever. They're so awesome. How to get her a 2 seed. I can't stand some of those people in the committee, whoever they are. They are 1. They were supposed to be here. We're supposed to be somewhere else.
Well, if she wanted to kidnap players, there's 4 different Huskies that have scored their 4 different field goals, so she'd have to go with 4 of them. It's going to have to be a
group kidnapping of some sort.
Yes.
UConn has assisted on every basket so far. That's the worst thing that's happened for UConn so far, the Collier free throw miss. 9-0 start for the Huskies. But that gives you a sense of the personality that Felicia Leggett-Jack has brought to this Buffalo program. Over the 7 seasons she's been the coach. A couple of good looks for Dillard. Another offensive rebound for Hemphill. This time it's Jones for 3. And UConn on the run again. Samuelson fouled and 1. What a start.
Yeah, this is 5-3 meets 6-3 on the wing. Hall did a good job of running Katie Lou Samuelson off the line, but that vision cone is much larger when you're 6'3".
Yep.
And harder to contest that shot, a foot smaller.
And Samuelson missed 4 games with that back injury against Houston in early March. Looked sharp for the most part in her 22 minutes on Friday in the first round. Hemphill lost it. Another Buffalo turnover, their 5th. What a pass by Dangerfield to Collier. This is beautiful basketball from UConn. Turnover number 6. Williams to Samuelson in traffic. Walker pops it. Collier the rebound and the stick back.
Well, getting it into the final quarter of the court has been a challenge for Buffalo, okay? UConn trapping, double teaming. The receivers have to show themselves. Jones does a good job of it there. You can't sit back and wait. You see now, someone shows themselves as a receiver. You have numbers on the backside. Anytime they're trapping you on the front, you have numbers on the backside. You got to be courageous and aggressive enough to get to them.
They get the turnover. Hemphill off target. Samuelson's open. Got to catch her in transition. Good job by Dillard to box out Walker. It'll be Buffalo ball.
Everybody offensively needs to be on high alert when there's trapping. When there's trapping going on.
Right.
You don't just say, okay, well, she's getting trapped and I'm just going to stand over here and hide. It's not hide and seek. It's not good if they can't find you.
Right. Buffalo brings a good 3-point shooter on in Courtney Wilkins, a senior from Melbourne, Australia. Jones, that's aggressive. Just could not connect. Onwuka, Walker, and Hemphill on the deck. It'll be a jump ball that gives it to Buffalo on the arrow. One of the storylines tonight is Katie Lou Samuelson and Napheesa Collier playing their final home games, where they have rocked a 93-game home court win streak, the second longest in NCAA history behind UConn. But 4-5 all-time in scoring at UConn, the highest scoring duo in Connecticut history. And another Buffalo turnover, their 7th, gives it back to the Huskies. Here's Williams for 3. The development of Williams and Walker in particular has been huge for UConn as of late. They are hassling Sierra Dillard, who does a good job of finding Onwuka. Missed the layup. Jones is there for the putback.
You see on the backside, not only do you get a layup, but you also have the numbers in the offensive rebound category. Jones flying in unmarked. I like the decision by UConn because it's getting the ball out of Dillard's hands early, not allowing her to beat you.
Williams again with a 3. She's 6 for 10 this weekend from three-point range in her NCAA tournament debut. Hemphill's jumper rims out. Walker splitting defenders and scoring. A confident-looking shot. A 10 for 14 start. 71% for UConn. They started hot on Friday, too. Jones draws the bump. A foul called on the freshman Williams. UConn coming off a season-high 15 three-pointers. They shot nearly 60%, and they assisted on 3 out of every 5 buckets against Towson in the first round. Dillard for 3. Out of bounds, and it stays here. Gino Auriemma asking Felicia Grinter, is that the right call? He thought he saw a deflection, as did the partisan crowd. Sierra Dillard, second leading scorer in the country this year behind Iowa's Megan Gustafson, hasn't really been able to get a shot off.
3-second violation.
3-second violation against Buffalo. We mentioned Katie Lou Samuelson got hurt on March the 2nd against Houston. There was a really rough stretch, including that game, into the tournament where they weren't shooting well. With Samuelson back, everybody's shooting well.
Right on cue,
yep.
Almost.
Good look. And Walker with the offensive board missed the layup.
But and that makes sense for a lot of reasons, not just because she's making shots to add them to that percentage, but her presence on the floor is giving everyone else more time to get those three-pointers off. And they've shot the lights out. I mean, 53% from beyond the arc. It's probably dipped a little bit with that Katie Lou Samuelson miss, but they've been shooting the lights out these 2 games here in Storrs during the NCAA tournament.
Collier travels. Dillard gets on the board for Buffalo with their first points.
So the way UConn's playing defensively, and they're mixing it up, I think they're doing a terrific job of keeping Buffalo off balance offensively. Dillard really has to be the trigger person to start the offense. Hall is too small if they come with that double team. And so that puts her in a decision-making role every single time down the floor.
Brittany Morrison in off the bench. Couldn't get the stick back. And Collier finds Williams in transition. Into double figures, the freshman. Jones on the drive. Samuelson grimacing a little bit as she went into the air for the rebound. And a little bit of a concern with Katie Lou just because of that back injury that kept her out for 4 games. She's kind of rubbing at the lower end of her back. You said it the other night, it's the contact, the physicality that you have to get used to again after an injury, and that's seemingly what Samuelson is in right now.
Well, I think when people talk about being out for an extended period of time, you think about, you know, your lung capacity, right?
Yeah,
because
sure.
you haven't been running up and down. No matter what workouts you do, there's nothing like game preparation, but it's also being hit while you're running, okay? That makes it much more difficult.
We got a little blood right now for Summer Hemphill. Bleeding from the nose, and the athletic trainer, Megan Lassie, will patch her up. Hemphill is a beast. She averages a double-double on the season. A career year as a junior for the Buffalo native.
Substitution. 30, Marissa Hamilton.
So Marissa Hamilton, who did not play in the first round, the sophomore from Great Valley, New York, will have to check in as Hemphill gets patched up. Nice feed by Samuelson to Walker. Well, second round coverage of the Division I Men's Basketball Championship continues tonight on TBS, TNT, and True TV. Had some excitement today on the men's side, maybe more excitement than Carol Lawson really wanted to deal with today. What a comeback. Iowa down 25 against Tennessee, comes all the way back to force OT, and then Grant Williams did Grant Williams things in overtime to make you feel much better today.
I didn't have one beat of sweat.
Not at all.
Not one.
You're like Jordan Bone's brother today.
to?
You're like, knew it the whole time. Knew it the whole time. The foul on Walker sends Autumn Jones to the free throw strike. We talk about excitement, though. We had 3 incredible women's games today as Hemphill is going to get taken back towards the locker room to check on her nose. Boy, Marquette and Texas A&M, what a performance by Kennedy Carter today with 30. That South Carolina victory over Florida State was a tight one. Collier forced it, turned it over. Here comes Dillard. Jones thought about it and knocks it down. A nice spark off the bench from the senior.
She's been the most fearless player on Buffalo's roster on the offensive end. Unafraid to take it into the teeth of the defense and unafraid to knock it down from the outside.
Dillard finds Wilkins. Good look, and she knocks it down. A quick 7-0 spurt by Buffalo. Samuelson takes it. Morris in the rebound. Shot clock and game clock are about even. Buffalo can hold for the final shot of the quarter. Jones has a great look. Knew it was short from the start. Flipped it up. Morris in the offensive rebound and draws a foul on Collier.
How about the play of Autumn Jones to help spark this team back into the game? Misses her shot. You know, the first person that usually knows it's a miss is the shooter.
Yeah.
So attacks the offensive board with reckless abandon. And then Buffalo gets an opportunity now to have a little bit of momentum, have some confidence now going into the quarter break.
They're using the glass to their advantage. 8 offensive rebounds for the Bulls during a good chunk of this stretch as Morrison hits the first. The largest lead for UConn was 21 in this quarter. They led 15-0 out of the gate. So a nice spurt from Buffalo in the last 6 minutes. Dangerfield. 9-0 run to close out the opening quarter for the Bulls, but UConn in control, up a dozen after 1 in Stores. UConn led 15-0 out of the gate. Buffalo outscores UConn 15-12, but 4 of the 5 starters all scored for UConn, and Crystal Dangerfield was sharp running the offense with 3 assists. Autumn Jones gave Buffalo the spark to help them get back in it. The largest lead of the first was 21. 9 straight by Buffalo to end the opening quarter. Starting up the second here at Gamble Pavilion. Albany region, second round coverage of the NCAA Women's Championship. Nafisa Collier draws a foul. Adam Amin, Carol Lawson, our great crew here at Gamble for the final game played in this building this season. Winner of this game goes to Albany in the Times Union Center for the Sweet 16. UConn trying to make it 26 straight trips to the Sweet 16. Buffalo out of the Mid-American Conference trying to go back-to-back. The men's NIT is in its second round. TCU getting set to take on Nebraska tonight at 9:30 Eastern on ESPNU and the ESPN app. Visit NCAA.com, the home for all 90 NCAA championships. Foul called off the miss. This is going to go against Buffalo again. That one on Wilkins.
Wilkins trying to box out Katie Samuelson. It's dinged with a foul.
Hemphill has some gauze in the nose after she was bleeding in the opening quarter. She's back in. We were talking about this during the break. Buffalo has to extend their zone a little further than they would maybe against some other teams, and that opens things up for players like Collier inside.
Absolutely. This is a team that can spread you out. This is a UConn team that can spread you out better on the offensive end than a year ago.
Sure.
Because
they have more shooters.
They have more shooters on the floor. They have 5 players that are capable of hitting a 3-point shot in their starting lineup.
Nice take with the left by Morrison. Gino Ariano said it. We're, in some ways, better offensively this year than last. Would you love to have Gabby Williams and Kia Nurse? Sure, especially at the defensive end, but they're a little more wide open offensively this year.
A little bit more wide open. I think that's a good way to describe it, Adam, but they're not anywhere near the defensive team without those two on the floor.
That's something that Gino has made very clear. Good transition. Collier draws a little bump and puts it in. That's on Morrison, her first.
And look at the numbers for Collier already.
Wow.
And this is what she does. I mean, this is who she's been her whole career. You look up at the end of the game, and she's got 20 points. She's got 9 rebounds. She's got 4 assists every single night.
Yep.
And it's, I mean, I have to think long and hard the last time Nafisa Collier had a bad game. And when I say had a bad game, that doesn't mean she didn't shoot it well, because that's not what is a part of the entire composition of a game in terms of defense, in terms of communication, in terms of leadership. I can't remember the last time she had a bad game.
Collier, a 3rd-team All-American last year. I would bank on it that she's first-team this year. Certainly a candidate for National Player of the Year awards. And again, not spectacular in terms of the flash, but a ton of substance in Collier's game. Good ball movement as Walker finds Samuelson, and a foul on Hemphill. Her first.
So this action's been really good for UConn.
Yeah.
You say getting the ball in the middle of the floor. What does that do? Well, what that does is it sucks the middle of the zone, the back middle of the zone up. And in doing that, it creates this window behind the zone that UConn's been able to exploit time and time again. It's 11 assists on 14 field goals. You beat the zone with penetration, but that penetration can come in a couple ways. A lot of times people think it's dribble. It can come with passes.
Yeah.
Passing, penetrating the zone with your passing, and UConn's done that beautifully here in this first half.
Well, you said it. Against the zone, the common places to expose one are the free throw line and the short corners. But that extension that we talk about with UConn's shooting ability, that really messes with defenses.
Yeah, and it makes the windows even wider.
Yeah.
It makes the window wider to pass it to in the middle, the window wider in the short corner area. So a little bit more room for error.
Sierra Dillard, 1 for 4 to start the game. 1 for 5. And here comes UConn again. Nice save by Collier, finding Williams for 3. UConn ties its largest lead at 21, answering with an 8-0 run. Alicia Grinter has a foul.
UConn foul, number 13.
That's the second on Williams.
What a great play that was last time down.
Yeah.
The pass from Dangerfield. It's a little bit ahead of Collier. That's why she had to get it falling out of bounds. But it was a left-handed pass on the run through traffic. You know how hard that is when your left hands are offhand to put that even close to on the money? And Collier with a great find. Williams has shot it well. Shot it well on Friday and shooting it well tonight from beyond the arc.
And it took about 12.5 minutes of game time before UConn finally subs, which has been a more and more common theme as the season has gone on.
And definitely in the postseason. I mean, UConn
tightening the rotation a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, UConn's played with a short bench
all year,
for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, not just this year,
last couple
years
of years,
past, and certainly in the postseason, giving the lion's share of the minutes to the starters.
Nice play by Dillard on the read. It's set up to Onwuka, but she was blocked by Olivia Nelson-Adona.
Yeah, the pass was late there. I mean, Dillard needs to get rid of that earlier, because what she did is she put her teammate in a compromising position. Two on one, and that defender commits and shades to your side of the floor. That ball's got to be out of your hand. She allowed the help with the pass being late to come back and get a hand on the shot.
Hamilton steps into a three. Samuelson can't snare it. Dillard does. So Samuelson knocks it away. Walker was gunning for it, but she was last to touch. A lot of activity from UConn on the defensive end. It's one of the reasons they've been top 5 in defensive efficiency all year, according to her hoop stats. They're number 2 in the country entering the tournament. Only Baylor's been better. But Dillard doing everything in her power to get a shot up. Morrison, another offensive rebound. She's denied. Collier gets tied up. Buffalo keeps it on the possession arrow.
Oh, I love Morrison's energy and physicality on the offensive glass. When you're shooting 21% from the field, through this point in the game, you can't rely on your offense. You have to create extra offense. And that's what Morrison's done, and a nice drive. And every time Buffalo's aggressive, they're aggressive. They get a quality shot at the basket. They haven't made all of them, but that's the mindset that they have to play in offensively, is they have to attack.
That time Onwuka drew the Dangerfield foul. Nino Ariema coaching Dangerfield hard, and she brings it back up the floor. Morrison bumped Dangerfield. It is bonus time for UConn as Morrison picks up her second.
32, Brittany Morrison.
With 2 shots coming for the Murfreesboro, Tennessee native. He's shooting 93% from the free throw line entering the tournament.
2 free throws.
Coming off her 3rd 20-point game this year. And that's her first point of the game. Meanwhile, this is something we discussed a couple of weeks back. Crystal Dangerfield is averaging the most assists per game in UConn history. And just look at the names. I mean, those names are plastered about Campbell Pavilion with banners and jersey numbers. That's an impressive collection to be a part of. Now, granted, we're in an era where offense is that much more explosive in college basketball, but that's still great company to be in, as Morrison puts it in.
And she's definitely the leader of the offense in terms of the play calls, the general pointing players to where they need to go. Has a great command of what Gino Ariema wants to do out on the floor.
Come on, Samuelson accepting the contact and finishing. Again, some of the physicality that you talked about, Samuelson getting used to again, doing a good job there. That's 3 on Morrison now. And Morrison got teed up here after this. Oh, you see her gesturing at Mark Resch, and there was a technical foul. So Samuelson's bucket counts. She's going to get a technical foul shot and the and one. So that's 4 fouls now, counting the T for Brittany Morrison. And she's been such an energy spark off the bench, especially on the glass.
Yeah, she has been.
So Adebola Adeyeye, who is a starter, comes back into the game for Felicia Leggett-Jag. Now Samuelson's going to shoot the and one free throw.
One free throw.
And that is now UConn's largest lead at 23. That's a 5-point swing at that end of the floor. Can Dillard get going for Buffalo? Give him a little bit of life. A frustrating start for one of the best players on the floor tonight.
UConn foul number 3.
Walker picks up her second foul on the rebound action.
It's been Buffalo's best offense.
Second on
right?
Walker.
Glass, yep.
Missing the shot and then getting the offensive rebound.
13 offensive rebounds, 7 second chance points. Obviously, you'd like to cash in a little bit more with that many offensive boards. Little step back against Walker, and there it goes for Dillard. His second field goal. 25 a game this year to pace most of the country, other than some girl named Megan Gustafson, who had another dynamite performance for Iowa today in their victory to get to the Sweet 16. Dangerfield got poked by Dillard, and that'll be a foul. Dillard made sure to check on Dangerfield. We'll step aside here. They'll check on Dangerfield during the timeout. Maria, thanks so much. That's going to be a fun one. Miami trying to get to the Sweet 16 for the first time since 1992. These folks know what the Sweet 16 is like. They know what national championships are like. Morgan Tuck on the left. Marissa Mosley, who was on the coaching staff the last few years and now did a great job as Patriot League Coach of the Year at Boston U. And there's Jamel Elliott, former Cincinnati head coach, who's now back at UConn in an administrative capacity. 3 excellent players and names in UConn history. Onwuka trying to penetrate and out of bounds to the Huskies. 10 giveaways by the Bulls. That was an issue against Rutgers. They had 23 turnovers on Friday. It's been the offensive story here at Gamble thus far. Here's Collier. Doing what Collier's been doing. Doubling up now on Buffalo. We heard the studio talk about how tough it's been for Sierra Dillard so far in this game. Hemphill. Offensive rebound for Adeyeye. Blocked by Nelson Adoda. Onwuka follows it in. Why has it been so tough on Dillard, do you think? And what has UConn done well against her?
Oh, I think at the beginning they've taken the ball out of her hands. The other thing that they've been able to do is they can switch different defenders.
Right.
They don't have to play the ball screen where they put themselves at a disadvantage. They can switch and put some length on her. And I think they've played her tendencies well. Okay, Dillard's not a blow-by type of player. She doesn't have the burst to break you down like that. What she loves to do is step back, 3. What she loves to do is catch you undisciplined with your hands down, and she's going to pull. And I think they've done a nice disciplined job of not letting her get to her favorite looks.
Foul against Collier, her second.
Foul on the Huskies, number 24, Rafisa Collier.
UConn, 19 Final Fours overall. They've gone to a Division I record 11 straight. They're trying to make it to Tampa this season. Final Four begins on Friday, April the 5th at 7 Eastern on ESPN2. The championship game on ESPN at 6 Eastern on Sunday, April 2nd. All 3 games available as well on the ESPN app. Autumn Jones is leading the way right now for Buffalo.
Yep, 2 possessions in a row, attacking the small, the guard that's the bottom of the 1-3-1. First time it works with Collier. Nelson Adota misses the bunny.
There's a step back from Dillard. Yep. Adept at that, to say the least. I liked how you described her on Friday. She's obviously got a lot of substance to her game, but she does everything with a little bit of style, a little flair. Makes it difficult for you to defend. Collier maneuvering around Adeyeye. UConn hits the 50-point mark, but still 2.5 to go. UConn has never scored 100-plus points in back-to-back tournament games. Obviously on pace for that so far. Dillard again. This time she connects for 3. A 7-point burst in the second quarter for Sierra Dillard.
Yeah. Caught UConn with their guard down a couple times, right? They switched to a zone. Didn't get the offensive foul on Nelson Adota. Too physical posting up Autumn Jones, but UConn let their guard down a little bit top of the key when they switched back into their zone. Dillard got a free look, and then on the offensive rebound, it's a good time to get a free look from beyond the arc.
Well, I think Sierra Dillard describes to the hand down, man down thing, right?
Yeah.
As soon as she sees a hand down, she's willing to shoot it right away.
Absolutely. She doesn't get that very often in games.
I was going to say. Jones, followed up by Onwuka again. 7 for Onwuka in the quarter.
So here's what we know is going to be point 1, 2, and 3 in the UConn locker room at halftime. Box out.
Yep.
Box out.
Yep.
And box out, right?
17 offensive rebounds for the Bulls in the first half. A little 11-2 run here by Buffalo to get back to within 15. Adeyeye was defending Nelson Adota and picks up the foul, her first. Dangerfield again, right back to Gino Ariema.
And I don't want to be too hard on the Huskies. They've played a wonderful first half, right? Up 15 points, second round game. But one of the areas, if you look at them from a big picture standpoint, as we look at teams that are contenders for the national championship, UConn certainly is one. One of the weaknesses potentially is the glass and giving up offensive rebounds, especially to a team with terrific size. Now, Buffalo's not a team with terrific size, and they are owning the offensive glass with the aforementioned 17.
This time, Katie Lou Samuelson hitting the offensive glass. Adeyeye picks up her second foul. I thought this was an interesting quote from Gino the other day after their win against Towson. The difference in this year is that we know even if we play our best game, we can lose. We don't have enough pieces, which is okay, because then the goal becomes, let's see how close we can come to playing a great game. We can take our chances, and the other team still has to play great, and there's no guarantee of that. A little bit of perspective in the big picture about teams from the past compared to teams this year.
Well, and one thing that I've always enjoyed in interacting with Gino with you is that he's honest about his team.
Yeah.
Okay. When you talk to him about his team, he doesn't try and talk up a certain player. He says, this is where we're strong, this is where we're weak, this is, you know, where we could potentially be exposed. And he's been forthcoming about that this season, about this version of the Huskies.
Samuelson's open for 3. Grabbed by Dillard. Final minute of the first half. Dillard ran into the traffic, so backs it out. And a senior, or a former transfer from UMass. Another giveaway. Collier running the floor. Just her second miss on 9 attempts. Walker is there, tied up by both Jones and Onwuka, and the possession arrow keeps it with UConn.
UConn can hold for one now with just about 1 second differential.
Yep. Well, then they reset the shot clock as there was a potential possession change and an offensive rebound, so that difference is about dead. Dangerfield got stuck and turned it over. A bucket will be big for Buffalo. Diller to Onwuka, and a foul. Dangerfield committed it. Onwuka's given him a nice charge here in the second quarter.
Yeah, nice back-to-back possessions here by Buffalo. Before Dangerfield started the offense, Buffalo switched to 5, which is their man-to-man, okay? And they switched that screen, forced a turnover. There's the 2-on-1 fast break. There's the on-time pass from Dillard, right? And now you reap the benefits and you get yourself into a 15-point deficit.
So a 13-4 Buffalo run to close the opening half. They trailed by as many as 24. Nafisa Collier with solid work as per usual. 52-37. Let's go to halftime with Maria Taylor. Welcome back to the NCAA Women's Championship presented by Capital One. So UConn scored the first 15 points of this game. Ever since then, 37 apiece. But that opening salvo is the difference right now for the 2-seed Huskies. Adam Amin, Carol Lawson back with you. Again, we've talked a lot about what UConn's offensive prowess, their distribution, their depth does to defenses, and it was on display against Buffalo in the first half.
They picked Buffalo zone apart.
Yeah.
I thought it was precision passing, excellent timing. The ball moved quickly, and the ball will outpace defenders in a zone every single time. As we take a look at tonight's Capital One rewarding performance, it's the Huskies on the offensive end. 13 assists on 18 field goals made, slicing up that Buffalo zone. Quick passes, timely cuts, some dribble penetration from Katie Lou Samuelson, and a nice finish on the back end. I thought Nafisa Collier was great in the middle of that zone, didn't stop moving, took advantage of the matchup on that possession. And that, to me, is the reason for the Huskies' 15-point lead, how efficient they were offensively.
That's a 72% assist rate for UConn. For the season, they're at 64%, so even better than usual. This was a trend on Friday, and it was a trend in the first half for Buffalo. They have closed out 5 of the 6 quarters they've played in the tournament pretty well, and that's allowed them to hang around, eventually get a win on Friday against Rutgers.
You're right. I thought it was key in terms of a momentum shift in their first-round win against Rutgers. Closed the second quarter with a 3-point shot. Closed the third quarter with a 3-point shot. Now their starts need to be better if they want to battle their way back into this.
Here is Sierra Dillard. A rocky first half offensively to start. Got better as the game went on. 3 chances for the Bulls, but Onwuka denied by the bottom of the rim. Samuelson scoops it in to start it off for UConn. She and Collier each with 16. Hall for 3, well short. Adeyeye on the glass. That was a big factor for Buffalo in the first half.
Great pass.
Samuelson all the way down court for Williams.
So, you know, 2 possessions and Buffalo misses 2 point-blank shots or 3 point-blank shots at the rim. And then UConn is able to make 2 layups. Just like that, a 19-point deficit.
We talked about it. Play just over a minute. The starts have to be a little bit better to these quarters. Onwuka misses the long 2. It goes to UConn.
This is just a beautiful pass. Kristen Williams up ahead, right in stride. All she has to do, look at that, right in the pocket. All she has to do is put it up and finish.
One of the things that Gino Auriemma really expressed a lot over the last couple of days in practice and shoot around. Lead your players, lead your receiver, much like a quarterback to a wide receiver. Send the ball where your teammate is going to be. Williams missed the 3. Second opportunity for Collier will send her to the line on an Adeyeye foul. her third.
Alan Bowles, 25. Adibola Adiede. Third personal.
I mean, in traffic, didn't really have to do a whole lot. Was in perfect position.
Yeah. Adiede picking up the third foul. And Morrison on the bench.
With four.
Remember, this substitution for Buffalo, I thought, made a world of difference in the first half when Autumn Jones came into the game.
Yep.
Buffalo started to turn the ball over early. UConn went on that run, and I thought Jones came in and gave Felicia Leggett-Jack some really good minutes at the wing position.
Collier crashing the glass. Samuelson kept it alive for her. Traveling, though, on Nafisa here. Collier with 17 points on 9 shots, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. Another typical line. Added a block and a steal as well. Closing in on the great Tina Charles on the UConn all-time scoring list. Nicely done by our great crew. I wish I knew the name of that very well-dressed woman. She showed up in like full leprechaun garb with UConn paraphernalia all over it the other day. Now it's all UConn with all the names of legendary players. 2 more for Collier. Dillard, by the way, the only Bull in double figures after her layup. She's got 11 to lead the way. Still a 20-point game. Dillard draws the bump from Dangerfield, her third foul. Dillard has not gone to the free throw line in this game. She will not go here. It's a foul on the floor. Remember that Dillard leads the country in free throw attempts and free throw makes this season. That's been a major factor for her to rack up 25 a game. And hasn't really had an opportunity tonight.
So with Dangerfield picking up her third foul, they switch Katie Lou onto Dillard on the out of bounds. They went to a switch with Collier, and that's it. Remember I talked about she waits until you become an undisciplined defender.
Right.
You relax, you rest, you put your hands down. And when you do that, she will shoot the ball. She's got terrific range.
Walker. Another rebound for Samuelson. Jones poked it away.
Yeah, I would say Katie Lou's looked better tonight in terms of her athleticism, her ability to handle physicality. Some of that might just be getting that first game under your belt.
Absolutely.
But she's looked better, and she's played physical style on the glass, that's for sure.
Boy, Dangerfield open in the corner off the inbound. So Samuelson's got 5 rebounds and 16 points. Just added another assist. Well, coming up next, the NCAA Women's Championship continues with 2 more second-round matchups here on ESPN. You'll have a 1 seed in Mississippi State in the Portland region taking on Amanda Butler's Clemson team. Then you'll see Oregon, the 2 seed in the Portland region, taking on Indiana, which upset Texas yesterday. Both of those games available on the ESPN app as well. Williams picks up her 3rd foul. Hemphill around Collier, just a little bit short. Everything but the finish. Hemphill jumped in the air, and that allowed Samuelson to get free over the top to Buffalo.
I'm never going to turn down a Katie Lou Samuelson jumper, but I thought she had Nafisa Collier posted up right in the middle of the lane. Yeah, I thought she was going to throw that. I mean, that might be the only thing more money than a Katie Lou Samuelson jumper is a Nafisa Collier shot in the paint.
Yeah, when you're shooting over 60% for the season and you're top 8 in the country, that's a pretty good efficiency rate. That's what you want to get with Collier. Here is Dillard. Just forced it up and got it to go. Throws her hands up looking for the foul.
I agree with her. I thought there was some contact on the drive.
Here's Dangerfield. On line and on target. Her second three of the quarter. That one banged off the iron from midcourt. Looking for Hemphill. Dangerfield behind the back to Walker, and it rims out. Another rebound for Samuelson, ripping it away. Dangerfield for three. In and out. And it's rebounded by Hemphill. Nice step through by Jones, but missed the layup. Samuelson. In and out. Collier extends for the rebound. A double-double again tonight. And just tacking them on. That's 5 straight 20 and 10 games since the start of the American Conference Tournament, of which she was MVP. The sophomore Hannah Hall running the point for Buffalo. Jones is open. Nice rebound by Adeyeye. And a foul is called by Mark Resch against Dangerfield. Timeout on the floor.
Another incredible all-around performance for the senior, Napheesa Collier, in her last game at Gamble Pavilion. 21 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists. Those are incredible numbers at the end of the game in the final box score. We've still got 4 minutes left in the third quarter.
There has not been a triple-double in the NCAA tournament for UConn in 5 years. Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis had the last one for the Huskies. Those 7 assists for Collier ties her season high. Her career high is 9. And like you said, we still have 14 minutes to play. Nice pass by Dillard to Hemphill.
You saw the look away. Freezing that back line to make them think you were going to pass a different direction, and found Hemphill for the easy layup.
Walker for three. The long arms of Nelson Adota got the offensive board. And a foul on the action. See who this one goes against.
Number 24, Sierra Dillard.
So that's the second on Dillard. By the way, Dangerfield is off the floor. She did pick up her 4th foul before the break. So she is on the bench right now, having played 26 minutes.
That's critical, and the reason I say that, maybe not in this game, okay, but UConn does not want to spend too much time in the postseason moving forward with Crystal Dangerfield on the bench.
Absolutely.
And she's going to have to be smarter. And some of those plays that are potential 50-50s, just don't go for it. You're more valuable to your team when you're on the court.
2 more for Collier with a big-to-big pass. Shout out Rebecca Lobo in the studio. Nice pass again by Dillard to Hemphill, and Nelson Adota picks up the foul.
And the foul. Number 20, Olivia Nelson Adota.
Dillard's starting to get it going a little bit. And remember, they started with pressure, trapping, getting the basketball out of her hand. They haven't done that much here in the second half, and she's kind of cut them up a bit.
Hemphill, who had 23 and 7 in the first round, and it's Buffalo back to within 20. Big to big the other way. This time Collier finds Nelson Adota for an and one opportunity. Wilkins on the foul, her third.
12, Courtney Wilkins.
First points for Olivia Nelson Adota here in the second round.
Olivia Nelson Adota. 1 foul.
Well, her length in this specific matchup gives them an advantage.
Yep.
Right? There's nobody on the Buffalo roster that can contend with that length. That length and potentially other matchups down the road is going to be very important.
Yes.
It's going to be necessary for UConn.
Wilkins off target. Walker's got the rebound.
It's a luxury in this matchup.
Walker will draw the foul.
Full foul, number 13, Autumn Jones.
Second on Autumn Jones.
Second on Jones.
I mean, not to project too far ahead. There's a lot of basketball to play.
2 shots.
But Sam Furing has looked really healthy for Louisville in a potential Elite Eight matchup with UConn. She performed well in the Louisville win in the regular season against Connecticut. If you were to project ahead of the Final Four, you're looking at maybe 3 of the best bigs in the country if the seeds hold in Kalani Brown and Lauren Cox at Baylor and Tierra McCown at Mississippi State.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of talented bigs. Let's not forget Notre Dame and their front line.
Jessica Shepard up front, Brianna Turner.
Yeah, a lot. Good size, powerful size. That is a strength of many of the championship contenders in the country, is their interior presence.
Dillard, nice clutch move. He grabs the rebound. Draws the foul on Samuelson.
Now she did this against Rutgers and did not get the call.
That's right.
And it was a foul, okay?
Early in the game, if I'm not mistaken?
Yes, it was early in the game. And watch, Katie Lou Samuelson's hand is out, okay? And it's out horizontal to the ground. And she doesn't like the call, but if you go into your shooting motion and your hand contacts the shooter, that's a foul.
So Dillard, for the first time tonight, the nation's leader in makes and attempts at the line, is there for 3. There's playground in Dillard, though, too. Like, she understands what we've talked about. A little bit of airspace is all she needs. And if you enter that airspace, there's a chance you're going to foul her. That's why she's been to the line so many times this season.
Yeah.
Over 220 times at the free throw line this year. Walker. Nelson Adota with another rebound. Dillard knocked it out of bounds. Get a better look at it here. Yep,
that's a foul. Right, I mean, it's not even close. It's a foul. Now, I mean, I get it if you don't like that you got right? But that's a foul, right?
Do you have a tendency, or do you think players have a tendency, like, you see it all the time, men's, women's, high school, college, NBA, everybody thinks their hands are up, right? Every defender wants to believe that their hands are constantly straight up in the air. And I don't think a lot of young players recognize that they're leaning a little bit. Their arms are going down. It's a hard thing to do. Run around for 25 minutes and try to keep your arms above your shoulders. It's a hard thing to do. I just don't think a lot of players realize that it's happening to them.
Yeah, I mean that they don't keep the principle of verticality when there happens to be a challenge for a shot or even contact. Yeah, I mean, that's tough to do. I don't think Katie Lou Samuelson thought her hands were straight up. I just think she didn't think that was a foul by her reaction.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Hamilton, the runner. And there's that length of Nelson Adota that you talked about. 100 seconds for the third. UConn still up by 21 points. And that 15-0 start to this game is still most of the difference. Buffalo has played relatively even ever since those first 4 minutes.
A little discombobulated without Dangerfield out on the court.
Yeah, UConn trying to run their offense, right?
A little disjointed.
Well, Williams running into traffic. Jump ball keeps it here with 3 on the shot clock. There have only been 4 disqualifications all year against UConn. They've come from Nelson Adota 3 times and 1 from Williams. Other than that, nobody's fouled out. UConn commits the fewest fouls per game in the country. Walker beats the buzzer, can't connect. Dillard trying to break down Williams, setting up Hamilton. In and out, good look. Wilkins flings it out to Dillard.
His hands are up a little bit more.
Yeah,
You see that? All right.
Dillard finds Jones. Knocks down a three. First second of the game. Fourth for Buffalo. Tough shot, Williams. Collier had it stripped, and here comes Jones. Finds Dillard. And they'll hold for the final shot.
And a smart play. Nice recovery from UConn in transition defense, and then smart by Dillard to hold for one. We talked about the close of quarters for Buffalo. Let's see if they can have another shot to end it.
Dillard. Oh, what a scoop that was. Morrison could not corral the offensive rebound. 6 straight for Buffalo to close the third, but UConn is up 18.
Adam, Kara.
So much, Maria. I think some people forget there was no better player individually in the NCAA tournament last year than Sierra McCowan. Enrique Ogumbawale, rightfully so, praised for the heroics, but McCowan for 3 weeks was by far the best player in the country last year.
Dominant force. And to lose the firepower that Mississippi State lost, and to be a 1 seed, be a national championship contender, a lot of that is because of the presence of Tiara McCowan on both ends of the floor for Vic Schaefer's team.
Morrison out there with 4 fouls. Dillard another offensive rebound, and Samuelson quickly out on her. Absorbing the contact. Second foul on Katie Lou Samuelson.
Her second, first team foul of the quarter.
They're going to call that on the floor.
Yeah, Sierra Dillard was asking Kualani Spurlock, wasn't that in the act of shooting? She determined no. Collier now guarding Dillard. Tough take by Dillard, and this time she'll go to the free throw line. A reminder that the NIT continues with second round coverage tonight at 9 Eastern on ESPN2. Norfolk State with a nice run. We'll take on Colorado out of the Pac-12 on ESPN2. You can visit NCAA.com, the home for all 90 NCAA championships. Collier picks up her 3rd foul. Dangerfield is out there with 4 fouls for UConn. Last 5 Dillard points have all been at the free throw line. Down to 16 with still 9 minutes to play. UConn, I think you accurately pointed it out, Kara. They're a little out of sorts offensively when Dangerfield was off the floor.
Yep. And now have picked up their 3rd foul of the quarter.
And Walker this time, her 3rd personal as well.
If I'm Buffalo, and yes, the margin is 16, but you've been able to draw 3 fouls. You want your players to be aggressive, to attack, to see if you can get in the bonus early, to see if you can put another one of their players in foul trouble and a little less aggressive on the defensive end.
You said that in the first half. I really like Buffalo when they attack. Dillard, she'll take it. We'll take that 3 though. Her 3rd of the game, and it's down to 13. Collier out to Williams. Dillard the rebound. Throwing it to Jones. Big shot. Loose ball to Samuelson. This could be a big swing of momentum here with these last couple of trips.
Yeah, I got to give it to Collier. You haven't had successful offensive possessions. Give it to your best player. There you go.
Quick shot and a foul. Right on cue, Carol. And Nafisa Collier has just passed Tina Charles on the all-time UConn scoring list.
Fourth on Wilkins, forcing a team foul.
Good patience here by UConn. Excellent post up by Nafisa Collier to carve out space. A little high-low, and when you go through those down periods offensively, you've got to get back to what your center is, okay, as an offense. And UConn's center offensively is Nafisa Collier. There shouldn't be too many possessions they go without getting her a touch on the interior.
And here she draws a foul. Oh no. Sierra Dillard goes down to the deck.
That's number 24, Sierra Dillard.
Megan Lassie, the athletic trainer, immediately out to check on Dillard, as is Felicia Leggett-Jack. Let's take a look here. Take a look at her right leg, right foot. Oh, bad roll as her foot made contact with Collier's foot.
Yeah.
Went down immediately. Sierra Dillard's been one of the best stories in college basketball ever since coming over to Buffalo from UMass. One of the great scorers in the country, one of the great personalities in the country. Had an opportunity to go to the next level after a junior year, opted to come back. He's had a dynamite senior year. Excellent to see her back up on her feet. You would hate if this is the end of Dillard's college career, but rightfully so, a great ovation.
Reporting in for Buffalo, number 2, Vanessa Dixon.
The training staff will check up on Dillard, one of the most prolific offensive players in the country.
It's unfortunate. Buffalo had gotten into a little bit of a groove to close the third quarter, cut the lead to 13. And playing well, and Sierra Dillard had gotten into a little groove individually. Nice steal, nice hands by Summer Hemphill.
Let's see if Buffalo can rally without their best player on the floor. Hemphill puts it in. Dillard taking that shoe off. We'll get 10-2. Buffalo, as we've said, after that 15-0 spurt from UConn to start the game, hanging around. Offensive rebound, Williams. And Dangerfield calmly resets.
Yeah, that was a nice sprint out by Hemphill to take that three-point shot away from Dangerfield. One more outside, there it is.
Good shot fake by Samuelson. Good recovery by Buffalo. Ooh, Dangerfield, jump ball. It'll stay here with 5 on the shot clock for UConn.
A little late on the pass from Dangerfield to Samuelson.
If it's a second earlier, you feel like she's probably got an open look?
Yeah, she shoots it. Let's credit Buffalo. Their zone's been tighter here in the second half. Not as many open looks. It felt like it was target practice for UConn in the first half with how open their looks were from beyond the arc.
Dangerfield trying to slip through the defense. Another takeaway. Hemphill to Jones. Big basket for Buffalo to cut it to 11.
What a response from Buffalo. Your best player taken out of the game. And a 4-0 run for the Bulls, forcing a timeout from the Huskies. A nice battle between the UConn Huskies and the Buffalo Bulls. The story of the score. UConn got off to a piping hot start. Brilliant execution by the Huskies in the first half, led by their senior leader, Nafisa Collier, who's been so good on the interior. But Buffalo, not to be denied. They came back and were able to hit some shots and get themselves back into it here in the second half. Just an 11-point deficit with their best player off the floor.
Sierra Dillard injured her ankle in this fourth quarter. She's still on the bench, and Buffalo has scored 4 straight since the injury. Finesse Dixon is on the floor, the freshman for Buffalo. Morrison denied by Collier. Excellent defense. Her second block of the night continues to stump the stat sheet. Extra pass Dangerfield to Williams, but a traveling violation on the freshman. And Buffalo with a chance to cut it to single digits. And here comes Sierra Dillard. These are the active streaks for UConn right now. 185 straight against unranked teams. 93 straight home wins is the second longest in NCAA history and school history. They've gone to the Sweet 16 25 straight years. First touch for Dillard since coming back. Misses the layup. That would have been huge. It would have cut it to 9. And Dillard is still limping around a little bit on the defensive end.
Yeah, she's having a hard time moving around.
Oh, man, Dixon really picked it off, ended up contacting Williams.
That's a nice thought by Dixon.
Yeah.
Just got there a split second too late. I mean, a looping pass across court. Not what you want to throw. And
Third team foul.
I'll be honest here, Adam. I would ISO Dillard, is what I'd do.
Wouldn't you take advantage of her defensively?
Yes, I would, in some form or fashion.
She is gingerly moving around. Collier to no one in particular. I'm with you. If I see a defensive player limping around as Dillard is, I go right at her.
I thought they were going to do that initially with Dangerfield on the side, but
let's see what she can do on the offensive end. Buffalo trying to make it a single-digit game. They've trailed by as many as 24 in this contest. Dillard against Samuelson. Gets it back. Takes the 3. And rebounded by Collier. Her 14th of the night. Dillard currently looking at Walker. Went back door. Missed the layup though. Here comes Buffalo trying to make it a single-digit game. The senior, Wilkins, 3. Morrison got fouled and she'll go to the free throw line. Things have taken an interesting twist at Gamble. We still got a game with 4:14 to go in the second round. Again, the difference in this game was that opening salvo by UConn when they took a 15-0 lead. Buffalo has hung right in the rest of the way, and here in the fourth quarter, they've got the advantage to get back to within 11.
Uncharacteristic, sloppy with the basketball for the UConn Huskies. Look at that, 4 turnovers in the fourth quarter to 0 for Buffalo. That's been the difference in the game, and you can hear the crowd, everyone coming to their feet, trying to give energy to UConn, and Buffalo with a chance to cut it to single digits.
Morrison cuts it to 10. The senior from North Ridgeville, Ohio, playing the 119th game of her career, trying to make it a single-digit game. Which she does. Nearly a 4-minute scoring drought for UConn. Here's Samuelson, got a look, around and out, rebound Morrison. Inside of 4 to play, and the Bulls are within 10. Dillard all the way, left it short. Offensive rebound Hemphill, but she stepped on the baseline. That's the first Buffalo turnover of the fourth quarter, and in fact, that's only their second in this half. going to step up for UConn. They were looking for Collier, and Morrison took it away. Long pass to Hemphill, out of her reach. Dillard and Hemphill have connected so many times on those full court passes. Dillard has a great arm, but could not get the touch on this one.
Yeah, a little bit too long.
They beat Western Michigan on that play in overtime earlier this year. Samuelson. Dangerfield, a big three. Who wants it? Collier taps it out. 3 minutes to go. About a 5-minute scoring drop for UConn. That's not something we say very often. Dillard knocked it away. Williams keeps it. Dangerfield to Walker. Rolls off the rim, no good. And a foul called on the rebound action. That'll be a foul on Walker. It is a loose ball foul, and Buffalo is in the bonus. So 2 free throws coming for Brittany Morrison to try to cut further into this 9-point deficit.
What a competitive spirit from Buffalo.
Buffalo's been excellent at the foul line tonight. That one right on cue, rims out.
And just scrapping. And once again, how many layups has UConn missed in this second half? I mean, it's been multiple players.
Splits the pair, and Felicia Leggett-Jack is going to call a timeout with 2:36 to go. It's been a fun, tight day all day in the second round. Maria Taylor has more. They've been good ones. 75-67 here at Gamble Pavilion, final game of the season in this arena. UConn has struggled in the fourth quarter. Near 5.5-minute scoring drought, and the Bulls, who at one point trailed by 24 in the second quarter, have worked back to within 8.
The resiliency has been impressive by Buffalo. I mean, Adam, covering UConn for the last decade and a half, I can't tell you how many teams, when they fall behind by 20 or they fall behind by 25, it's a wrap.
Shut it down.
It's an absolute wrap. And Buffalo has maintained the belief in the face of that type of deficit and has positioned themselves to be in the game late. To me, that speaks volumes about the players in the locker room. It speaks volumes about their coaching staff to have that type of belief and put themselves in this type of position on the road in the second round of the tournament.
We said it at the top. Few coaches in America breed confidence like Felicia Leggett-Jack. Here's Samuelson. To Collier, who's been the all-star tonight, and when they need a bucket, they get it from the senior. Wilkins is short, and Collier with her 16th rebound.
Take your time if you're UConn. You've got the double-digit lead. The clock is on your side.
Dangerfield, open for 3. What a rebound by Dillard, and a foul call on Samuelson. Gino Auriemma out of the coach's box.
Well, he's yelling at Crystal Dangerfield. Why? Why are you taking the shot that early? In the shot clock.
There was 16 on the shot clock when she took it.
You don't have to. It's a double-digit lead. The clock is on your side. Even if you get a shot clock violation, what you've done is you're shrinking the game.
Yeah.
And it's a poor decision. That's why he was so animated.
So now the clock stops with a chance at points. This might be one of the more stressful seasons of Gino Auriemma's career.
And they're 32-2.
Yeah, exactly. How about that?
Perspective, okay?
Well, again, when you've dominated as much as UConn has, they throw perspective out the window sometimes.
That's true. Touche.
Back to an 8-point game. 95 seconds remain. You get a touch for Walker and an easy two that time. That was one of those, no. All right, good. You got the two from Gino Auriemma. Dillard, tough shot, and she finished it. Keeps it within single digits. And Felicia Leggett-Jack will use one of her 2 remaining timeouts. And Dillard, who injured that right ankle earlier in this 4th quarter, still heavily limping around the floor. I mean, she is galloping up the floor. It is hard to put any weight on that foot right now.
She doesn't look like that when the ball's in her hands. She looks pretty good.
We talked about breeding confidence. Nobody does that maybe as well as Felicia Leggett-Jack.
Let's just go take it. Let's go take it. Let's go burn it. Let's go let them know that we are not going to bend down to anybody that tells us that our dreams can't be accomplished, because yours just did. I've witnessed it. We've witnessed it. It's just our time.
And after that opening 4 or 5 minutes of this game, they've hung right in there. A Buffalo foul here. That'll be the 2nd on Summer Hemphill.
14 fouls.
And that was the last foul to give for Buffalo. Well, this is about 11 minutes of game time ago. It was a 73-49 game. It's an 8-point game right now with a minute left. And Dillard will pick up this foul. That puts UConn into the bonus and to the free throw line. Trying to extend the game a little bit here.
4th on Dillard.
UConn, as good as they are offensively, and a pretty good free throw shooting team, are 15 of 26 tonight. The freshman Williams calmly sinks that one.
Gino Auriemma talking to his players back on defense. No threes, no 3-point shots. That's how teams mount comebacks. They trade 2s for 3s.
Dillard wants to shoot, I would think, right here. She can't. Step back 3. Morrison over the back against Samuelson. Morrison picks up her 5th, and she's done. You see Felicia Leggett-Jack, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. What a yeoman's effort on the glass from Morrison tonight. This was after the missed 3 for Dillard, which would have made it a 7-point game. And maybe a little bit of reality is starting to sink in. Maybe. Still 46 seconds left, but Samuelson's at the line. This might be the end of the run for Buffalo. What has been a spectacular 2-year stretch, really 4-year stretch of getting to the tournament 3 times, but in particular the last 2 seasons. Dillard, a foul on Samuelson is her 4th, so Dillard goes to the line for 2 shots.
4th personal foul. Ciara Dillard, shooting 2.
A rare miss at the line for Buffalo tonight. If this is it, what a way to finish for Dillard. 28, 7, and 7. Make it 29. Still a 10-point game. And a foul on Hemphill, sending Dangerfield to the stripe. Quick reminder that SportsCenter tonight, after Clemson and Mississippi State with Steve Levy and John Anderson, they'll look ahead to the Sweet 16. Team with the best odds to the title. 118 points in 2 games. That is as good of a 2-game stretch in NBA history. It was James Harden who put it together and then promptly went to the gym afterwards. And then the greatest crossover artist, I think Kara's going to want to tune into that on SportsCenter on ESPN tonight. Two from the junior Dangerfield. 12-point game. The clock ran despite Buffalo not touching the ball, so they got to reset the clock. Buffalo had never made the NCAA tournament until 2016. They lost in the first round to Ohio State. Last year, the magical run to the Sweet 16 before running into the then defending national champion South Carolina Gamecocks. And a win over a Big Ten school in Rutgers this year to make it to the second round. Collier adds to her spectacular night. Another block, her third of the game. Dangerfield slipping through the defense. The final 10 seconds. An incredible run by Buffalo, but 26 straight Sweet 16s for UConn. This one in dramatic fashion as Gino Auriemma and the Huskies are headed to the second weekend again. For Carol Lawson and our great crew, Adam Amin saying so long. Let's get you to Starkville, Mississippi for Mississippi State and Clemson.